The Wildcats entered the 2018 season with some key pieces from last season gone. Kevin Knox, of course, leading scorer from last year, drafted 9th overall by the Knicks in this year's NBA draft. He averaged nearly 16 points a game on 45% shooting last season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Wildcats' second leading scorer last year, averaging 14 points per game while leading the Cats with about 5 assists per game. But Kentucky will also be without the services of its leading rebounder. Jared Vanderbilt was selected in the second round of this year's draft by the Orlando Magic. They'll be missing a little bit size from him. And lastly, Kentucky lost the versatile Hamidou Diallo. He averaged about 10 points per game while providing key defense and shooting for the Wildcats last season. But as usual, though, the Cats just reload, as they always do. Kentucky earned the number 2 recruiting class in 2018 behind Duke. The depth, though, is there. 5 top 30 prospects. That's the most of any school. Small forward Keldon Johnson is the top recruit in that class, number 7 in the ESPN 100. Time now to go all access as Big Blue Nation takes over the Bahamas.
Samaritan's Feet is something that we've been involved with for a while. They give away shoes all over the world. But before they give them the shoes, you wash their feet. It shows servant leadership. You wash their feet, you towel their feet off, you give them socks, you put shoes on.
How's it going? What's your name?
How's that feel? Is the water too cold? Thank you. Feels good?
Oh, that feels good, huh?
Yo, my dog. Look at the camera.
I like it. It's pretty.
Many of the players you see in there are going to end up being NBA players. And before they leave me, I want them to understand what true joy is when you do something for someone else. There you go.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
This is like Christmas to them. When some of these players that are out here, these are some of the best in the world, humbling themselves.
Have fun, all right? Enjoy.
Bye.
When you reach back and you pick someone else up, when you truly are a servant leader, serving others, it brings joy, it makes life easier. And if they get that feeling when they're 17 and 18 and 19, they'll keep chasing it.
Kentucky head coach John Calipari joins me now from the Bahamas as the Cats begin a series of exhibition games. And John, a young team once again. You've got 4 games over the next 5 days starting tonight. What are you hoping to accomplish between now and Sunday?
Trying to bring them together. Again, you won't believe this, but we got another new team. We lost 5 guys to the NBA, so we're now looking at having a couple veterans for the first time in a while. And bringing them together, getting them to play for each other, not for the fans, not for the TV, is the first challenge of this. And then getting them to understand that what we're doing is all about day-to-day stuff, and it's building in a process. And we're not going to be perfect down here. It's going to get ugly, but play hard and be unselfish. Those are the kind of messages that I'm giving the kids.
You mentioned some of the veterans. You got sophomore guard Quade Green, figured to be one of your leaders, but you also added Stanford graduate transfer Reed Travis. What impact are you expecting them to have on your new freshmen?
Well, we also have P.J. Washington back, and we also have Nick Richards back. But what you see is, like, he's a grown man. Like, I haven't coached a grown man, like, in a while. And so there are things that I'm teaching that he already knows. There's his talking and bringing the team together and showing leadership that way. His toughness, physical and mental toughness, is going to help these young kids.
John, while we have you, I definitely want to get your take on the NCAA adopting a new series of rules today. Let's take a look at some of the key points. Elite high school recruits and college players will be able to hire agents certified by the NCAA and the Players Association from the NBA. Underclassmen who enter the NBA draft are not allowed to pick any school right now, return to school, pending approval from the NBA and the Players Association. How will these new rules, John, affect you and your program, do you think?
Well, whatever happens, let me just say this. None of this goes into effect until the NBA and the Players Association come up with something, and I'm hearing it won't be until 2022. So we're probably wasting our breath dealing with the ins and outs of this. Like, I'll give an example. I'm here in the Bahamas, and the CEO of USA Basketball, Jim Tooley, is here. And he's like saying, wait a minute, we deal with one of the 1%ers. We don't deal with foreign players. We're not, USA Basketball, in a position to try to say who gets an agent and who's not. And he's willing to do summer stuff, but not himself. He wants to be with others. He wants to collaborate with the NBA, with the NCAA, with the Players Association, USA, together. But USA Basketball, so there's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked out. I'll give you one. They're saying a player can leave, put his name in the draft, and if he doesn't get drafted, I wish if he was in the second round, he could go back to college. But if they want it to be that he can go back to college after he's not drafted, my question is, what if there are no scholarships at that school because they gave the scholarships away because they thought he was leaving? What does that kid do now? Does he go to another school? Does he have to sit out? Sit out? He was trying to leave. I just hope as we go through all this stuff we're doing, we're thinking about what's it do to these young people. I hope we don't have this, none of these kids belong on a college campus. It isn't true. Don't you believe that?